Red Line Logbook here for Chapter 10 of Wistoria. We start off back where Will was explaining how Julius has not mastered this spell, and the reason for that is because Iswise isn't like a Guardian, where the Guardian has an automatic command that it fulfills. So usually it uses a shield, but in Thrawn's case, he ordered it just to attack Will, and so that's what it did. It didn't need Thrawn to directly control it. It just fulfilled its duty as it was programmed to do. On the other hand, Elsewise requires you to personally control each clone yourself. And this is why Julius needed his friends, because they were basically used as backup brains to control a bunch of his clones for him. Julius, in a rage, then fires off ice roses at Will, but he uses this more as cover so he can then cast Elsewise again, creating 4 clones. And we are revealed that Julius actually can control them himself, but only a maximum of 4. He can't do more than that. So he's not a complete fraud, he's just not on par with Elfie. As for creating the cover, the point of that was so that he could scramble up himself with his clones, so this way he can hide himself, so Will doesn't know which is the real one. Because once again, they all can still use magic, and they're all still just firing at Will. And Julius is completely confident that this is going to work, but then Will just charges directly at Julius. Julius then puts up an ice wall. Will smashes the wall and uses a piece of it to launch Julius backwards, slamming him with his own spell. This, of course, pisses Julius off, because how can Will possibly know who the real one is? And then Will reveals that he knows the spell better than anyone, and that each of the ice clones actually has a lower body temperature than a real person. In fact, the temperature is so low that if you aren't in complete mastery of this spell, if you don't have complete control over it, then the cold air from the body of the clone will leak out, freezing the air around it, creating small little ice crystals around their feet. And so all Will had to do was just find the one that didn't have the ice crystals. Honestly, Julius is getting more and more pissed as this chapter goes, because at this point, Will just revealed that he has more knowledge, and Incompetent has more knowledge about a spell that Elfie created than the guy who's casting it, and that pisses off Julius. Will then reveals something to Julius, and apparently to the entire crowd, that apparently most people didn't know, even though Will is quite open about it. Him and Elfie grew up together. They're from the same orphanage. In fact, he was there when she invented this spell. Oh, and apparently Elfie has a special magic that allows her to just know what's happening down below, even though she's way up in the tower. In fact, she's watching this match as she's having this conversation with her assistant. Funny enough, this was actually revealed as one of her magics when a bonus chapter was added to the first Takemon, where as kids, she taught him that girls, and when she said girls, she meant me, like to be complimented, called beautiful, all kinds of these things, and she basically taught him to teach girls, her, to be complimented. And so when he grew up, that's why he was complimenting Clennette in like the first chapter, and he was calling her beautiful and complimenting her hair and such, because Elfie taught him to do that for girls. The problem was that, of course, Elfie was spying on Will when this happened, and she saw this and was now upset that Will was complimenting a different girl than her. Anyway, even though Will and Elfie were childhood friends, Julius refuses to accept the fact that Will could possibly overcome this spell. This is a spell created by a Magiwanda. It is beyond an Incompetent's comprehension. There's no way he can defeat it. Will then reveals something that just breaks Julius. Honestly, it would break any man, because apparently Elfie created this spell when she was 2. The reason why this spell has so many weaknesses and flaws to it is because it was created by a 2-year-old. That's it. That's literally the reason why. It's not this grand spell created by a Magiwanda. It's just a child plaything. And this realization causes Julius to question, is he on par with a toddler? Is he not special? Is he just a guy? He legitimately cannot comprehend this very thought, and so he just refuses to accept it outright and decides to do everything he can to crush Will. Julius actually pushes past his limit and exceeds his limit of 4 clones all the way up to 7, which is impressive. Julius is actually getting stronger and improving as he fights Will, so I gotta commend him on that. Still a piece of shit, but hey, he's improving. Will then responds in the most disrespectful way possible. He then tells Julius, you know, I used to get bullied by 10 Elfies. Basically telling Julius, you're still not caught up to a 2-year-old. Congratulations, you're nothing. Julius does not take that very well, and he decides to just open fire on all of his clones, just blasting at Will. Of course, at this point, Will's got his moveset set already, and he just dodges all of his attacks, and then one by one systematically destroys all of Julius' clones. Julius then realizes at a certain point that he's fucked, he can't win, and he tries to beg for mercy, but Will's not having it, and he just crushes Julius' face with the Earth Gauntlet, and then the whole crowd goes nuts. The fact that Will was able to defeat one of the top 3 in their class. The whole arena is just in an uproar. Will's about to win the tournament. That's when one of the top 3, Lenia, I think her name is, apparently the first time takes notice of Will, so we'll most likely get her involvement in the story soon. But as I was able to predict many times, the winner of the crown game, of course, is Yagnar, because while Will and Julius were beating the shit out of each other, him and his team just walked up straight up to the crown and just picked it up. Based on the crowd's reaction, they didn't like that. They wanted to see a proper ending between the fight between Will and Julius, but instead, Yagnar just walks in and says, this is mine, I win. The only one who seems to be happy about this is actually Mike Myers, because he was gambling on Yagnar winning. And as you can imagine, he just made a whole lot of money, so good on him, I guess. Back in the tower, Elfie is asking if there's a spell that can redo the past. Sarissa says no, and then Elfie says, okay, is there a spell that can erase memories? And Sarissa said, well, there is, but those are illegal spells. And then Elfie starts to freak out. Now, I assumed she meant to erase for the tournament, but why she wants to go back in time is because Will said that he was being bullied by her when she made a bunch of clones. And she's like, no, Will, I wasn't bullying you. What I was doing was trying to just keep you to myself. I just wanted you to always be with me. And so she's now freaking out about that. This actually got a laugh out of me because I was not expecting her to freak out about something so ridiculous. Like, it happened in your childhood. Don't worry about it. Will still likes you. Sarissa just does not care. She is uninterested in all of her master's weirdness. Will's team finally showed up. Clarinet runs up to him, all happy because he defeated Julius. He showed off. He was able to reveal himself to the people of the tower, show how competent and useful he is. He might actually get scouted, so she's happy. Will's happy he won his fight. Thawne, on the other hand, he ain't happy. Thawne's pissed because, he had his fight ruined, and not just that, but Will just defeated Thawne, which means Will has definitely advanced further than Thawne. Hopefully we'll pick up back on Thawne's feelings soon enough so we can get a conclusion to that. I hope it won't be one of the last things that happen in the story, but who knows. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, give a thumbs up so you enjoy more Wistoria and other many things. Thank you and have a great day.